like a silver dream. Hope ran dry quicker than it seemed. Same old talk, same excuses. Another year of Raider blues. Vegas lights don't hide the scars. Fourth down prayers, broken hearts. We rode hard, we paid the price. Buried hope by week 9. Put it in the dirt, let the whistle blow. Another Raider year laid 6 feet low. We drank the Kool-Aid, paid our dues. Rock bottom blues and black and shoes. Yeah, we scream, yeah, we stay, yeah, we lose. Raider Nation never quits on you. Watch from banners high while Sundays teach us how to sigh. Laugh through pain, curse the screen. Love this team like a bad routine. Put it in the dirt, let the whistle blow. Another Raider year laid 6 feet low. We drank the cool.
Hey, what's up, Raider Nation? Welcome to Raider Nation Show Me Your Shield. Within the last 10 to 15 minutes, some real important news has come down that kind of shakes up our monologue that we were going to run through tonight, and some of the questions and answers and some of the takes that we were going to observe tonight on our show. As being reported by Tom Pelissero and is authenticated on the face page of the Raiders website, Raiders.com, the Baltimore Ravens have decided to back out of the Max Crosby trade.
Update. Max failed his physical. Automatically canceled the trade.
Which was probably what we Baltimore was going to use that, because they could have passed him based on the where he's at with his recovery.
I mean, possibly, but also with that being said, the physical has to be done anyways, just to see if there's anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a chance that is the cause. Also, is there was some other
a degenerative issue?
Yeah, possibly.
A lot of times will not be reported accurately.
Yeah,
as we know how football teams will do. And if it's a degenerative issue where he could have a total knee failure within the next year or two, then that was a smart move by Baltimore, to be quite honest with you.
Now here's overreaction thought. Was this do with our Linderbaum deal?
We're sticking with Linderbaum.
No, we will. Linderbaum doesn't have to. Deal can't be finalized until tomorrow.
Well, that's on him.
It's on him, and it's on the Ravens to offer.
Well, if they want to offer $27 million.
Yeah, true. But it's a younger player without an injury who is the heart of their offensive line. And
I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
I see where you're going with this.
And they've already lost, 7 or 8 other starters on their team. And Lamar got hurt because of offensive line last year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Debatable. Could be his play style.
Yeah, it's his play style.
But do they really want to let Linderbaum go away? Because in actuality, it really does look like they traded us Linderbaum and 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby.
Kind of like a silent trade, huh?
Yeah, kind of.
It's like,
granted, we were the highest bidder.
Yeah.
It could be also the Ravens think them canceling the Crosby trade also messes up our deal with Linderbaum. Like, we won't want to pay him that, which is totally false because from what I was hearing is we were at 78 million left in our cap space after all that stuff yesterday, and we didn't do any extra deals today. So bringing Max back, that takes up 30 million of it. So we're still sitting at 48 million if that number was accurate. So it's totally on Linderbaum if he wants to back out. I was hearing today on, I think it was the morning tailgate was mentioning it, was Linderbaum was seen as a Max Crosby like guy when it comes to loves the team, loves everything about the team, wants to play his whole career there kind of thing. So it was really shocking that he left and made a deal with the Raiders. But it could have been that the Ravens just weren't getting anywhere near the number he was seeking. Hence why he just had to do it. Because if he was a Max-like guy, he sees everything that's happened to Max. Yeah, no, I got to take my money now. But I don't know. Very interesting. It's going to be a lot of overreaction until more news comes out. Ultimately, it was a Max Crosby physical. So
Just when you thought the dust was starting to settle.
I mean, welcome to Raider Nation off-season drama 101.
Yeah.
Always something.
We're Raiders. It
Well,
never surprises me when stuff like this happens.
Yeah. But here's the next question on it. Do we just keep Max? Because I have a feeling that nobody's going to give us 2 first-round picks for Max now.
Not with the failed physical like that.
Well, plus if it is truly a physical thing, like just the known injury, then let me take a couple steps back. I was saying that a Max Crosby trade would have had to been way later. The earliest it could have been would be right before the draft because of his rehab, because he needs to get healthier so he can pass the physical. That's why it kind of surprised me that we traded Max so soon. So, but I never thought anything of it.
But a lot of these big time orthopedics that work for NFL teams, they can tell whether or not that knee is going to be sufficient when it's time to start playing football.
Yeah.
They can
What's
tell.
up, Jack? Enamel Red, that's wild. Max failing his physical will screw us getting Linderbaum. I don't think it screws us getting Linderbaum unless the Ravens back out, use that cap space, and sign Linderbaum himself.
But
Linderbaum, I believe, has to back out of the deal.
That's not a Ravens decision.
Yeah,
of him backing out. That would be a Linderbaum decision, and since it's open, technically it's still open negotiation period or legal tampering, they can still talk to Linderbaum. There's nothing preventing them from calling him up and saying, "Hey, what's it going to take to keep you in Baltimore?"
Yeah,
but that's egg on their face again too, because they could have franchise tagged him for a lot less, and then they probably could have retained him just on $24 million.
Yeah.
Now that we upped it to $27 million per, they're going to have to come in higher than so. I mean, in a roundabout way, we're going to win this deal.
Well,
we'll keep Max, and they'll end up paying fucking $8 million more than what they wanted to for a center.
Here's the thing, though, is they can screw us over big time because we signed other players to kind of take over that edge / outside linebacker role, like Paye. We also re-signed Kuntz. We brought Snowden back, which Snowden was going to happen regardless if we had Max or not.
He was a restricted free agent.
Yeah. So Quiddy and Kuntz, those two, there's a chance we don't bring them back if we have Max still.
Yeah.
So now the thing is, Max is on our roster. They got to decide if they're going to keep both those guys or if they're going to cancel one of the deals or both.
So here's the thing. We are going to a 3-4.
Yeah.
Quiddy is a defensive end. He's not an outside linebacker in a 3-4. Max would be an outside linebacker in a 3-4.
Well, it also depends on what style of 3-4 you're going to be running.
Well,
Because if you're running like a 3-4 over, that fourth outside linebacker, he's going
he's
to
a
be a
hands in the
pure
dirt.
edge rusher.
Yeah.
So that's what Quiddy would be playing, would be a stand-up edge.
No, he's a hand in the dirt kind of guy.
Well, so is Max. They both can do it.
No.
But Quiddy's whole thing is he's not as good of a pass rusher. He's a run stuffer. He's like the Raider we used to have for a long time on the edge, Lamar Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Where he can put some pressure on the quarterback, but his whole thing is he stops the run. He seals that edge. You're not going to go get around him. Oh, sorry.
Bears might still bite on Max regardless of the physical, but they may not give us that number 1 pick. Could we get a 2 and a 3 and some cash for the 2026 draft?
I wouldn't take that deal. I'd rather
there's got to be. He's still worth the number 1 pick, a first round pick.
The whole thing with the trade is it can keep getting canceled because of the physical.
Yeah.
It's the Raiders, I think, kind of rushed the deal. Like they should have waited, because that makes it safer for the Raiders to get rid of them. Now we're in this whole hiatus. What do we need to do? Are we for sure still getting our center that we came to an agreement with? Do we need to cancel one of the deals we made with one of the ends? Like I said, Quiddy and Kuntz. The Raiders don't need to rush, but they need to quickly decide what they're going to do with the deals that they already made.
Yeah. Just give me a minute. I'm gonna mute and go off screen. So if you want to rock with it real quick.
Big Raz is saying Max is more of a run stopper as well. I mean, yeah, that's true, because teams really focus on trying to stop his pass rushing. If he had a true pass rush partner, or if we could get more pressure consistently through the middle, Max would show a lot more in the sack column. But you also got to remember his injuries too have slowed him down these past 2 seasons. So I think Max is more of an all-around player, because he's still a very good producer when it comes to pressure. He just doesn't quite get that sack. But yeah, man, this huge news, and it kind of throws a little chink in our chain, or stops our cogs from moving. It's very interesting what will happen and before before tomorrow happens, because that's when all the deals start getting finalized. So I don't know. It can be worrisome, or it could be a great thing.
It just makes tomorrow that much more important.
Yeah. So we'll definitely see how it plays out. I mean, we lose that number 14 pick, which we're all already doing our mock drafts. What are we going to do with that 14th pick?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that's out the door. We don't got to worry about it. But I will say our defense looks even scarier now.
Yeah, I would say it's still improved quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, with Max Crosby, this is easily the best looking defense we've had in a few years. We really need to shore up that secondary. We need to get 2 more cornerbacks, hopefully 1 free agent and 1 rookie. But with getting Max back on the roster, that kind of cuts into who we can bring in.
Yeah.
But
anyways, let's see here. Freezing pad. All right. Shit, that just threw everything off the rails.
Yeah.
Didn't it?
Yeah.
But this is what we're going to do, because we kind of had some questions lined up for the chat. Those of you that are in the chat, Big Raz, Enamel Red, you guys, thanks for coming in. Let's look at it this way. Let's just hit it. you guys, the conversation, and I will start with if you want to go to the notes there, Mr. Duncan. And I just earmarked it right now. Raider Nation roster and draft debate questions. So if you want to go ahead and throw any questions out there, we got 8 people watching right now. If you have a take, man, throw it up there in the chat. Let's get to it, man, because this is I hate to say bad news because I hate to lose Max Crosby, but it kind of throws a wrench in what the game plan was. And the game plan was to, number one, get younger and let the young guys start to develop and get some really good players and rock with it. Chewy, thanks for coming into the show. We got Ron Rossi, 2501. Thanks for coming in, man. Hey, hit those likes and subscribes, man. Subscribe to our channels. Ring that bell, go to the notifications and hit the bell where it says all so you get the notifications. And that will really help this channel grow. Right now, we're a little bit on the small side, but our boss over at 41 Raider Jeff is running a show right now. Hopefully, he'll plug some of his guys over. I did invite him onto the show if he wants to come over and kind of merge everything because this, I mean, just like, and Ron can tell you, just as much as I can, this is like typical Raider crap. It just is, man. I'm sorry. And I'm glad we're getting it out of the way before the draft and not till middle of the freaking preseason, the frozen foot, the tickling people's behinds and all that crap,
in our Discord, the guy who's kind of like the guru of the contracts and everything on that and the terms of NFL stuff, he's saying that the players agreed to terms to the contracts that we offered them. They are not allowed to back out. Only the teams can back out. So Linderbaum is ours. All the linebackers we signed are ours. Kwity Paye, Kuntz, everybody's ours. He's saying that players aren't allowed to back out of the agreements.
Well, you know who's really excited about Max getting to come back?
Who's that?
Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean.
Oh, yeah. Kwity Paye, not so much.
No, hold on. He's still got a place on our team.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Because if you think about it, the other 3 defensive tackle positions when we were running a 4-3, Adam Butler, love him. He's great. But Kwity Paye is right there at his level, if not a little bit better.
Well, Butler can't play that 5 technique. He'd have to play that nose tackle spot. Jonah, I think, a little too undersized also, so he's got to play
strong side, he could play the 5 technique on the strong side.
With the linebacker over top of him.
Well, at least shaded in the B gap, but he could play the 5 technique.
Ron Rossi, that's not true. Everybody knew Max had surgery. Like, that was not a secret. The only thing that would be a hit medical wise is if they found something else.
That's what I'm thinking.
Which that could be the possibility. I think it's more of the Ravens used it as a scapegoat to back out because they're having buyer's remorse, because even with them not signing Linderbaum, they still had to make cap space room for Crosby, and they were losing 7 or 8 starters. Like, their roster was looking brutal outside of their star power. So I don't fully think that's true that he loses his trade value. The only thing is, no other team was offering what the Ravens did, which is why we took the
which
Ravens
also means they're gonna regress on their next offer.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible, but
that's where the trade value starts to take a hit.
Yeah, but Spytek was honest. It's like, this is where we value Max, and this is where we'll trade him at. Okay, we keep Max. He's a great player. We have him signed for what, 3 or 4 more seasons? Like,
yeah, we didn't have. You're absolutely right on that. We didn't have to trade him.
Yeah,
we weren't shopping him to be traded. It's just his trade.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
Emerald Red was also asking, like, then do we just keep Max? Which I think we do. Like, we don't have to force a trade.
We're gonna be pushed to keep him. I think some of those guys that were making pitches for him, much like Baltimore, will see this and will act. Like I said, they're gonna regret. They're gonna bring back some of their offer. They're not gonna. The next fall, say for example, Dallas offered us the 20th pick and next year's number 1, right, for Max. And Baltimore's was better because they offered us the 14th pick and next year's number 1. Okay. Do you think Dallas is going to come back and offer us the exact same 20 and next year's 1? No, they're not.
No, not unless there was a third team.
They're not.
But from my understanding, it seemed like Dallas was the third team. And I think it was the Bears were the second team. So Cowboys backed out. They still haven't filled that edge spot that they needed. So they could come back with the original offer that they had, which was their second-year edge rusher. I think a second and a third is what they offered, or a first and a third, something like that. I don't know what the Bears offer was. I never saw if that got leaked. But yeah, I don't see a trade happening because I think Spytek's going to be like, well, Max is a great player. So, boo-hoo us. We get to keep a great player.
Mm-hmm.
But does Max want to be here? Does he fit well in a 3-4? From how, like,
the same way he would fit the same way Ted Hendricks did, Ronnie. He wouldn't be a drop back outside linebacker, but he would be a hand in the dirt and a stand up, just like Ted Hendricks did on the outside when they ran a 3-4. So very similar to that. Weak side, he'll probably play primarily on the weak side, not on the strong side. That way he's got one less body to fight with, getting to the quarterback.
Yeah. And then adding on top of what Chewy said about Paye being a great run defender, honestly, I'm buying into what you were saying, Jason. Having both of them have Paye opposite side of Max, like, nobody's getting outside of us.
Yeah, you got Paye, Butler as your defensive tackles. We go get a big old run stuffing nose tackle in the draft. There's going to be plenty of them, all the way to Chris McClellan in the 4th round. He's projected in the 4th round. You know,
yeah, and then so there's geez, I was gonna say Cleveland Farrell, not Farrell. Our 1st round draft pick a few years ago, Tyree Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Have Tyree Wilson on the same side as Max as that D tackle and just let him pin his ears back because now he doesn't have to worry about much. And at 3-4, he's covered with linebackers. I mean, he could sneaky finally have his breakout year. Like, this is going to be the year, if we keep Max, where Tyree could really shine.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, see you bye. See you later. We'll take our comp pick for you. And that's all she wrote with him. Chewy's saying we will not get a top 15 pick for Max with anybody, I think. I agree. Only chance we would have at getting a top 15 pick is if it was only one draft pick or one 1st round pick.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably the only way we'd get a top 15 pick is if it was a team came in with one 1st round pick, maybe a player and a 2nd or a 3rd round pick, kind of like that Cowboys deal was. But yeah, how crazy is that to happen right at the start of our show that we're delayed?
I have a sneaking suspicion it's a degenerative knee. Is why they thought. Because how many surgery he's had? What, 2 surgeries on that knee? 3 surgeries on that knee? on that exact same knee, draining, having it anywhere from having it drained to having it snip. And the good thing is when they did shut him down, it was like, okay, this isn't just a cleanup that we're doing here. This is going to be something a little bit more intensive. And as much as the pie that everybody wants to eat from,
Yeah.
the guy, if they went in and did what they did, I don't think he's going to be as effective in 2026. Because
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking, if they went in and had to restructure that MCL tear and do the things that they have to do, it's a little bit more complex than just going in and doing a little snip and putting a brace on it for a couple weeks, and doing physical therapy. It's I have a funny feeling that the advertisement of the injury is not what it actually is when it comes down to an actual doctor looking at it and going, no, it's worse than what you guys. It's worse than that. And I've been around football programs that have been very, let's say, suspect on how they treat the players with their injuries versus what the actual injury is.
Yeah.
And sometimes the actual injury could be more serious, but they play it off as a less serious because, let's face it, the idea behind football is you want to get your best players out there no matter what at all costs. And if it means sacrificing you walking with crutches when you're 40 years old, then so be it. We want to win today.
Well, I mean, we'll never know the true facts because it's all social media stuff and it's based off what the players and the teams and the agents put out there. But it has been constantly said that multiple doctors said that Max Crosby's knee surgery was a very basic routine, easy recovery. He's just got to stay on top of his.
Yeah. But it still doesn't take away the fact that it's more than just a maintenance type surgery.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, they actually had to go in and actually perform surgery. It wasn't just go in and with a couple. I mean, there's sutures involved in what he had done.
JT the Brick was making it seem like it was just trimming of the meniscus.
No, that's what they thought it was going to be.
Okay. And that's not true.
No, that's why he actually should have been shut down sooner than what he was. And it progressively that's the thing with the MCL. You sprain an MCL if you don't take care of it right away, it could get progressively worse. It's one of those that that you just don't sleep on the injury. You have to if it's just an MCL sprain or slight tear, you deal with it immediately. To be quite honest with you, I bet you it was just a slight tear in week 5, week 6, just a slight tear. And it was back then. It was probably one of those deals that they can go in there and clean it up. You're going to be down for a couple weeks. We go in there, we clean it up. You should be good to go. But nope, he played on it, and it got worse, and it got worse, and it got worse.
Yeah.
And it's just like any other tendon that has been pulled and stretched, and it's got a weak point in it. Over time, that weak point gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And now what? Now it's gotten too big. Now we got to go in and fix it the old-fashioned way. So you got to be leery. That sometimes, especially in the NFL, man, it's like that's why we have independent people up in the skybox now telling people they got to come off the field when they get their bell rung, because that's all they would throw them a couple of smelling salts, say, suck it up, get back out there, And I mean, I'm not knocking it. That's what a testosterone-driven sport is supposed to be like. That's what you sign up for, But at the same time, don't blow it off as it's just a slight sprain, or it's just there's inflammation for a reason, that your body telling you are hurt. You need to fix this.
If he's staying, can we back out of Quiddy? Yes, we can back out of Quiddy. It's just got to be before tomorrow.
Yeah, before 9 a.m., I think.
9 a.m. Pacific time, yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to back out of him. I think I'd rather just let him roll, and then when camp comes around, if Tyree Wilson ain't holding up his end of the bargain, bye-bye.
Well, let's put it up to the chat, Jason.
Yeah.
Okay, with all of our free agent signings, as long as the Raiders don't back out of them, we have Max Crosby now. Are you guys happy we have Max with all these defensive additions on top of us going to a 3-4? Or are you guys mad because we're missing out on those 2 picks now? Me, I mean, I'm happy about Max because with all these additions, like, it was making me feel confident we could easily get to 6 wins. And then hopefully you have a few close games in there to where maybe you start stacking wins through just kind of sheer luck because one play happens to go your way in a game. Max is back. Now our defense is looking solid. We're just really weak in the secondary, and we need a true nose tackle still. So,
Well,
realistically, we get 3 to 4 players on our defense, and it's stacked.
mhm. The 2 additions at linebacker alone improve our defense probably by 50%
Yeah,
compared
I
to
mean,
last year.
we had the worst linebacker play last year easily. It was terrible.
And just those 2 guys alone. And then we can always draft a third one. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, let's face it, it's not set in stone that we can't draft one because there's a bunch of good linebackers still going to be there. You know, I mean, Aiden Fisher, we could probably get Aiden Fisher with the 67th pick.
Yeah, or
You know,
later, possibly.
So it's just patience. It does I think this does change our draft board quite a bit as to it definitely makes it more intriguing. But I don't think the Max trade is out of the question because I think that there was you mentioned the Bears and the Cowboys, but there was another team that was pretty interested too.
It was the Bears. It was the Bears.
The Bears and the Cowboys, but
Yeah.
Carolina and Washington also had interest as well.
Okay.
I don't know if they made an offer. I think they just called the deal. What will you take for him type thing. And the Raiders weren't offering anything.
Well, the Panthers signed 2 big players to their defense, so they're out of the Max trade probably. Washington, I think they signed a couple players. I think one of them was a little bit bigger. I don't remember the names though. I mean, there's the thing is like all these teams now spent their cap space. It's like a deal has to be done today, but who's to say they won't back out of it too? So it just becomes a whole cluster where we just got to sit and stick with Max. And then if a trade happens like right before the draft, okay. But Emerald Red saying very happy to keep Max. He's still top notch. The knee is going to heal up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Now here's the thing though, is the team needs to put Max on a shot clock. Like no more playing 100% of the snaps.
Same with practice.
You're getting down to 75% of the snaps, maybe 80, depending on like the game.
Which I think going to the 3-4 will allow us to do that more too.
Yeah, because we got to throw a bunch of different looks at them now with the 3-4. Yeah. So it can play into the advantage and like tell Max like, hey, well, no, you're out on this package. Get off the field.
Mm-hmm.
Still think Jerry Jones and do something crazy. I mean, it is possible Jerry Jones goes back with his original deal, but if there's nobody else there, Jerry Jones, he's a shrewd negotiator. He'll drop it.
No.
He'll definitely pull something out of that deal.
Yeah, it just depends on what the other team's offer was.
Yeah.
So,
A team's got to be pissed. Moves were made because of that trade. Yeah. I don't know if the Raiders would be pissed just because they still have the cap space available to keep Max and do their full draft. Like, they're fine.
Yeah.
The only thing it can kind of mess up is other possible deals we're going to make. Like maybe we're going to get another cornerback Maybe we were going to get a safety. So, like, that maybe has an effect. Offensively, they might have been looking at a journeyman tackle just for competition, but
I think
I don't.
I think it affects the Kuntz deal more.
Uh,
I really truly think I think the Raiders might have a little, because we have what, 5 years of Malcolm Kuntz and only 8 games of valuable tape on him.
yeah, yeah. But here's the thing, though, is now you can put Kuntz behind Max, and there's our chance to get Max off the field for 25% of the snaps.
So you're looking at Kuntz being like a relief pitcher, because we signed Snowden too.
Yeah, Kuntz and Snowden, like, they're going to rotate around. You generally speaking, it's been Kuntz and Snowden rotating around opposite of Max.
Yeah.
And then Max plays everything he can, and then when he does come out, then Tyree steps into a spot.
Mm-hmm.
But in the 3-4 now, there's a bunch of different options we can do. We can do Snowden, who can be that stand-up edge rusher. We could put in Kuntz, so he can be more of a cover the flats outside linebacker. Could move Tyree out there to do a strong over and have him rush on the outside. So, there's a bunch of different looks we can throw at them with the 3-4 where we can pull Crosby off the field so he's not getting all those snaps that he has been. Because he needs to be put on a pitch clock or pitch count, and Max will not do that himself.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see what comes out. Definitely keep your phones on alert, because if it ends up showing that we don't sign somebody tomorrow, or even tonight, it shows that we backed out of a deal, I think that more than likely shows we're definitely keeping Max. Even if anything doesn't happen, chances are we're keeping Max, because they stood firm on their original deal, which is how they got it up to 2 first-round picks, and I don't really see it getting back to that.
No. It's just like buying a house. If you ever buy a house and you go to buy a house, and you and your real estate agent, you go to make an offer to purchase a home, sometimes you got to go a little bit higher if you really, really, really want that house. And sometimes you get lucky and the guy that had the highest bid backed out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he definitely won't like being limited. But
no, but he's going to have to start realizing, and he's been told by several Hall of Fame players, Howie Long included, is there comes a point in time where you got to dial it back a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to shorten your career.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between playing 9-10 years in the NFL and playing 13-14 years in the NFL.
Yeah. And on top of that,
because a 13-year career of great success has more. You have more of a chance of getting that gold jacket than you do at 9. So if you only play 9 years, I know he's going into his 8th year, but let's just say, for example, he wants to just go balls to the wall with a bum knee and he screws it up more, then that could hurt his chances of being that. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve a gold jacket. That's here nor there. We'll talk about that when the book is closed. But there's like I said, there's just a big difference at having 13 years of production than there is of 9.
Yeah.
So there comes a time, and he could probably get more sacks and more statistics if he pulled it back a little bit more, because he can play have fresher downs versus playing, emptying that bucket for 2 or 3 plays in a row. Why don't you take a play off, go out on second down? It doesn't hurt, But yeah, he does have a dog mentality. You got to pull him back a little bit, but sometimes players could be their own worst enemy.
Yeah. And then just to add to the whole difference between a 13-year career compared to a 9-year career, there's also a difference between being able to give 100% of your effort for 75% of the plays compared to giving 80, 90% of your effort for 100% of the plays.
Mm-hmm.
Like his knee has been a constant issue now for multiple years.
It's 3 years in a row.
Yeah. So he definitely needs to be allowed to play at 100% for less snaps.
You know, I mean, I like the Warrior mentality of get back out there for my guys, do it for my guys. I gotta play. I gotta play. I gotta play. I love it. Don't get me wrong, but there's sometimes, especially when you talk ankles, knees, shoulders, that you just go, hey, play it smart. Don't be stupid about it. And if a doctor tells you, hey, you need to shut it down for a little while, shut it down. It's okay.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to question your manhood at all.
Yeah.
I would never come out and say, oh, he's a wuss. He got a little achy knee and he doesn't want to play. No, that's not. We already know who you are, Max, but it's okay to play smart.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Is it time for him to say, well, flock off?
Oh, God. And he had that stupid ass Flock Nation garbage. Yeah. There's only one nation. That's Raider Nation.
There is no Flock Nation. They don't call it Flock Nation.
Yeah.
It's something
I think
else.
he was
It's
just
not.
Going off the top of his head, and he already said Nation and Raider Nation, so he's kind of got it stuck in his head. But
the only ones that can acquire that title more than us is Red Sox, because the Red Sox actually used that back in the 30s and 40s. Red Sox Nation.
No, it's just Raider Nation.
Well, I mean, you could. I'm just telling you from a perspective of who actually started it. I mean, it's just not, But I remember when the name Raider Nation started is when they came back to Oakland. It was actually on JT the Brick show where it kind of started, and it was a couple of the Black Hole members that would come onto his show, and they were just like, they kept calling it Raider Nation, and then it became Raider Nation versus Niner Empire, right? Yeah. That was the title that they went by, but yeah, none of the other teams have. They can't claim that nation shit. Get out of here with that.
All the other teams have regional fans. Raiders have fans everywhere across the U.S., and that's why it's Raider Nation.
No.
I mean,
hey, so we got 13 people eyeing us right now, watching us live on YouTube. I'm Raider First Down, JD. Call me Jason, JD. Just don't call me late for dinner. This is my co-host, Donas Duncan. We come on live every Tuesday night at 5 o'clock for Raider Nation. Show me your shield. If you are a diehard Raider fan and you think you got what it takes to come up and participate, shoot us an email or shoot us a message, and maybe we'll bring you up and challenge your fandom as a Raider fan. But go ahead. What were you talking about?
Oh, nothing. But with 13 people here, getting back to trying to talk to the chat, Raider Nation, do you think the Raiders have improved in free agency enough to make a playoff push, enough for progress, enough to get a foothold? Like, are you seeing improvement with the team with the moves we've made so far? And what's your favorite move so far? But earlier you mentioned, Jason, those two linebackers, like that, great signing. I know a lot of college experts, every time they were talking about them going into the draft, is like, man, it's such a shame that these guys cannot go to the same team together because they truly feed off of each other.
Oh yeah.
So I mean that has me excited to watch what these two guys can do. Like, can they perform like they did in college and the pros as a tandem? Because that'll be definitely something fun and special if they can.
I think, to be quite honest with you, now that they've had a little bit of NFL experience with the speed of the game, understanding, dissecting formations and plays at an NFL level, I think they can actually take that relationship to a different level.
Yeah,
I think, I mean, there's been some linebacker combos in the history of the NFL that you just go, wow. That
Yeah.
it totally changes the defense. And what's cool about it is, especially with these two going, if you watch Quay with the Packers, is sometimes just their play alone, it makes it look like they're almost playing with 12 people on the field. That the bodies are there's minuscule open windows for run lanes, minuscule windows for passing lanes. Let's see, Ronnie. Yes, definitely. Just that one plug of Linderbaum in the center improves us immensely. And then you throw in Rick Dennison as our offensive line coach. Huge change. There's going to be you're going to notice a big difference in that offensive line this year. Big difference.
Imagine the O-line coach having film sessions with the O-line. Holy cow.
And I think Mendoza will be just fine with Linderbaum as his center. That's a good pickup. Great leadership on offense.
Definitely. Emerald Red coming in with really depends on how Mendoza does during his rookie year. Are we going to bring in a veteran quarterback? Is AOC going to get some burn early in the season? I think we'll know more during the training camp. Yeah, definitely. Now, we all know Spytek and Brady and all them said that they don't like starting rookies.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're kind of remembering it wrong, or at least I was. And then I heard somebody else say, no, that's not what they said. They said they don't want to start a rookie that's unprepared and doesn't have the support.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite possible Mendoza starts day one because they're trying to build this roster so that way he can have success.
Yeah.
And Linderbaum's a huge part of that. JPJ knows he's a starting guard now, so he needs to just focus on that instead of splitting his time between starting guard, starting center, backup guard. Like, they did him a disservice last year. They should have told JPJ, no, you're playing guard this year. Focus your attention on that. And it probably would have worked out better for him, other than the injuries. But yeah, no, I definitely think they're looking at Mendoza being the starter day one because they think he's ready, and they're doing their best to make sure the roster's ready for him.
That all has to come together.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hurt to sit him 3 or 4 games. It just depends. Well, it's just like you said, it with the roster. And if we go into the season, we'll know more once preseason rolls around and we get through preseason. Kubiak will have a better understanding as to I think he's smart enough to know not to put Mendoza out there if he's not ready. But only time will tell, and it just depends on how he develops during the preseason. Because one, he's going to have to command an NFL hurdle, which at Indiana he did.
Yeah.
So I don't see a problem in that. Okay, so so he's going to have a steeper. His pre-snap preparation is going to be a little bit more refined. And his post snap is going to be a little bit more refined. And there's, a lot of the things that, since we're on the Mendoza train, and because I know some people want to disconnect that train and let it crash, I don't. Some of the things that have been brought up on other channels and through other topics and whatnot have identified a lot of faults in Mendoza. And just those faults alone pull him out of that number one value, that pick at number one. And I get it. I totally understand. If this draft was rich with a lot of skill players at the top of the board, but it's not. And when you're in a position that it's absolutely need a franchise quarterback, and he fits that mold, we got to pull the trigger on it, man. I mean, I'm sorry, that's just it is what it is. And even those that have done evaluations on him on YouTube with on their podcast and have presented evaluations, I respect those. But I also respect the fact that what you've identified is extremely correctable. It's extremely coachable. And those are not what hinder his growth.
Yeah. I also think it's funny how, like, even in that stacked class of quarterbacks that we had, all of them had huge flaws.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, I don't know. They're treating Mendoza like he's so much worse than these guys, and he's not.
Mm-hmm.
And
I could do a podcast on Patrick Mahomes. Let's just say Patrick Mahomes was still at Texas Tech and he's coming out for the draft. I could do a podcast that would make him go in the 5th round. Because you watch his college tape and he had an 800-yard game against Oklahoma. Him and Baker Mayfield had this, okay, I get it. That's a lot of yards. Great. But let's watch some of the other stuff, the other yo-yo balls that you threw and the lack of discipline. And that was one of the things, that was the biggest knock on him, is he lacked discipline in where he went with the ball. He always wanted to force the ball or wanted to make some extreme. He would instead of making a routine play, he would want to make that da-da-da type play.
Yeah. And now people are saying he's the greatest quarterback ever because he does those in the NFL.
No, I say that because of his winning attitude. He is a game closer. Let's face it. You give the guy the ball with a minute left, no timeouts, 90 yards, and he can still go down and score a touchdown to win the game. And not just do it it's not just a one-time thing. I mean, you literally have to take the ball out of his hands the last 4 minutes of the game if you got to lead. You can't give him any chances because he will just tear you up like a butcher.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing I don't get is, like, a lot of these people, they don't look at the positives of the player and rank those positives compared to, like, other players in their position and similar styles. And on top of that, can that player utilize those pros in the NFL? And are there any detriments that would prevent them from being able to use those skills? Like Jamarcus Russell, he had a cannon and he could throw off his knees 90 yards down the field or whatever. Well, guess what? You're not throwing passes in the NFL off your knees. And there's a big red flag in his work ethic. Well, guess what? Bit him in the ass, his work ethic.
Yep.
Had all the talent in the world. Yeah. Mendoza, he's the complete opposite. He has the greatest character issues. He has the mind for the game. He's a total nerd about football. He doesn't have a lackluster arm. He's not poorly athletic like everybody says Aiden O'Connell is. Like, where are the detriments that are going to prevent him from being able to actually perform?
And he's more athletic than people realize.
Yeah. Well, part of it's kind of like a deceiving thing. Like, he's deceivingly athletic. It's because he's got such long strides and he's so tall that he seems like he's not moving that fast.
Yeah.
But and he's got the mentality to really truly fight for everything. I mean, heck, look at that Miami game for his highlight touchdown. Like,
well, the Penn State game, the Ohio State Big Ten championship game.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy, there was no that's what I think, that's to believe it or not, that's what sets him above the rest of what we're talking about, is just that mentality, that
grit.
Yeah, the game isn't over until the clock strikes 0, and I'm going to do everything I can to help my team win.
Yeah, which fits perfectly into what Kubiak was saying in one of his last press conferences. Is he wants players that play through the echo of the whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Like the play's not over until it's over, and Mendoza definitely fits that mentality.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks, Enamel Red, for sidetracking us on the Mendoza talks again.
It's okay, man. That's what we're here for. You do that, we'll run with it.
Yeah.
If anybody else got any Mendoza takes, throw them up there. Let's hear what you got.
Yeah. Getting back to the Crosby thing, though. I mean, I simply think we just keep him. We're not going to get a deal as good as what we had, plain and simple. So just stick to the guns of what you were saying all this whole time while there was trade talks, and keep Max.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah. Heck, our defense looks way better than last year already. Like,
Nah.
I mean, dang, man. Like, Max Crosby is a great player. Yes, he has a bum knee, but he should be able to get healthy before the season starts. And now it's up to the coaches to put him on a shot clock.
Yeah, because that knee is not going to take the beating like it has for the last 6-7 years. It's not.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to. The team's going to have to be smart with it, and he's going to have to be smart with it because one of the kickers one of the things, the reason why they shut him down this last year is that last week before he got shut down was one of the first weeks he could not practice. He could not get to practice at all. And it was just like, okay, we can't keep doing this. We gotta shut you down. You know, it wasn't and the Brock Bowers thing was the same way. It was like, okay, you guys have way more games to play in the rest of your life. Let's not try and jeopardize that today for what? To win a game that's going to mean nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I love that they want to play, but it's also up to the front office and the coaching staff to get it through their heads. They're not playing because of X, Y, and Z. No. And unfortunately, Max got pissed off about that. But hey, guess what? The adults at the table made the right call, and that's encouraging to me that Spytek's willing to make that tough call. And hopefully now we have a coaching staff that will back up that call and make it during game times, which I'm going to keep going back to. Put them on that pitch count. You there, Jason?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. I was just reading something. No, I was reading something. Every time when I freeze is because I'm on another tab on the computer.
Okay. So
it will only let with this computer I can only activate one tab at a time.
So to try to keep the Max Crosby talk going a little bit, in our Discord, it's still blowing up. That's the All Aboard Discord from All Aboard Raiders on YouTube. A lot of them are starting to get pissed off that we have Max now, which, I mean, if you word it right, I can understand the sentiment. Unfortunately, they never word it right, so it's always just seems like they don't want to have Max on their team. Ultimately, they're pissed off because they don't have the draft picks, which I understand. But now some people are starting to say that if Max don't want to be here, just let him leave. Well, that's just stupid business. You can't let an asset like that just walk out the front doors. Like, you have to get something in return. And unfortunately, we're not going to get that return. So we need to keep him and let him play.
Yeah. And there's a certain person in our company that's going to be upset because we lost draft picks.
Yeah. Which I understand being upset about the draft picks and the whole emotional roller coaster of Max going to a different team after he's played so well for us for so many years and was the face of the franchise, and he was a true Raider. Like, he embodied that old school Raider. Like, I get all that stuff, but I just don't see how you can word it as you're mad to have Max on your team. It's just got to be about the draft picks, and I can understand that part. What's the cap hit with Max staying? So his original contract resumes with us. So I believe it's a $30 million cap hit to our cap space this year.
Yeah.
And if the information is correct, we were at 78 million. So now that puts us at 48 million. And originally with the number 14 pick, they were saying that we'd need about $25 million for our draft class. That's probably going to go down quite a bit, 20 on the high end, but it's probably going to go down more to like 18 million. So realistically, we're looking at about 30 million left to spend for this year. And I think we still have to spend, what is it, like now 15 million more to be safe from being penalized from the NFLPA.
Yeah, but that's not going to be hard to do. We
No.
can pick up 3 or 4. We could pick up 3 or 4 bodies. It will be that could be productive players.
And
to
the
help
draft class is going to cover most of that. So
Yeah.
we're not too far from that. So we'll be okay.
Yeah.
And then even with the max thing, like we're going to have so much more money next off season too. So we're sitting pretty with or without max on the roster
On the free agent side. But like I said too, is when we do, if you take into consideration, you see how we built all these contracts in 3-year contracts, correct? That allows SpyTech to start to build the roster with draft through the draft. So you're basically, say for example, one of my biggest things was this year we go get a Logan in the 5th round, 4th round, get Logan Jones maybe, and have him sit behind Linderbaum, but teach him how to play the guard too, so he could be a swing player at all 3 positions. Because it's easier to teach a center how to play guard than it is a guard to play center.
Linderbaum to learn guard?
No, Logan Jones.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. No, Logan Jones would be a great pickup.
So you go get something like that. You're not drafting the guy to come in right away and be the savior. He's going to come in and sit behind JPJ and Linderbaum and learn as he goes, and then maybe get some run, as the season goes on. If somebody gets hurt, he can plug in, type thing.
Yeah.
Be that swing interior lineman. That's just one example. Another example would be, at the linebacker position, we got Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean, right? Get a Jake Rodriguez.
Yeah.
We can get a Jake Rodriguez.
Oh, Rodriguez would be so awesome.
And Jake Rodriguez doesn't have to go out there right away and be the savior of this franchise at middle linebacker. He could develop,
Plus, there's room for him to play with these 2 guys because neither Dean or Walker are known to be great in the pass game, and Rodriguez is a ball hawk.
So that's he's he could be your 3rd down specialist at middle linebacker.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And then work in Eichenberg also because he's shown some promise.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
And a 3-4. Do you think he can make the move to outside linebacker? Or is he lacking in?
No, he's a Sam or a Mike.
Okay. Well, I mean, does that also show what they think of Eichenberg by signing both Dean and Walker?
I don't think we have enough on Eichenberg. And not only that, he's been predominantly a special teams warrior. He hasn't really shined per se as a positional player.
Well, he had a few games last year where he looked good, and like he's one of those players where you never mention his name because there's never a bad play being made around him.
But sometimes his name didn't get mentioned because the ball went right by him.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not because
might want to go back and watch that Giants game.
Job.
Might want to watch that Giants game a couple times. He looked a little confused at times
on why White isn't in the position he's supposed to be in.
No.
Yeah. No, Eichenberg definitely needs more experience, but he's not going to get it with Walker and Dean on there. So I think they definitely
Oh,
kind of
look who
put the
showed
writing
up.
on. Yeah, your best buddy, Cairo.
Cairo 3, baby. Cairo 3. Here we go.
Yeah.
This
He's
is for you,
saying
brother.
pissed.
Raiders.
Yeah, he's pissed about the whole deal being broken up.
Eh.
We were
You
talking.
know, I am too, but the only reason why I'm pissed is because it just throws more mud back at us as an organization because of what's happened. Because here we made this trade with one of our predominantly the best players, right? And now all of a sudden the trade can't go through because our best player can't pass a physical to satisfy the trade, which goes back to that same, remember, is that guard from the Rams that we got, and it got nixed because of the medical.
I don't remember. I
Was it-
remember it happening. I don't remember the name.
Yeah, and then he turned around. The turnaround went back to the Rams and had a Pro Bowl year.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they had to do all that finagling stuff with Garoppolo also,
Mm-hmm.
which altered his contract. We'll keep our free agents.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to change much there. The only thing that's going to really change is how much cap space we're going to have going forward to sign other players.
Yeah,
That's the only thing that's going to change, and it'll put a big dent. It's going to put a big dent in our shopping, most definitely. But I still, to this day, think what we've done so far, and then bringing Max back. Yeah, we lose that 14th pick, which I kind of was hoping we had as well, but in the long run, I still think Max is better than whoever we can get at number 14.
yeah.
So
I agree. But the thing is, we'll never truly know if both those picks ended up being better than Max, like combined, or one of them, or each of them. Because, like, I mean, people will faintly kind of try to link the Ravens pick to like what the Raiders could have had, but there's no saying what the Raiders actually would have taken at those picks.
well, it's like
Traded back or whatever.
it's like Quay Walker was the draft pick that we gave the Packers for Devontae Adams,
Yeah.
and now he's on our team.
When we could have used a linebacker then too.
That
Freaking Quay Walker with Spillane would have been nice.
would have been good. That would have been good. But I think it's going to be better with Kobe Dean. I just,
Yeah.
yeah. Kurt Morrison and the late great Thomas Howard. You guys were fun to watch, but this is going to be totally different.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I'm not mad to have Max back, and I don't think any of Raider Nation should be.
No.
I think if you're going to be mad at anything, be mad at the Ravens for blocking the trade, because everybody knew Max was still rehabbing. Everybody knew it. Like up to the same day he was traded, it was mentioned that he was in the building working out, trying to get 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So blame the Ravens for trading for a hurt player and then failing him on the physical, presumably for that same injury they knew he already had.
Let me
I
ask you
definitely think
this.
it's a panic move by the Ravens.
Is it a panic? Well, that's just it. I truly think they had buyer's remorse, and they're just using the physical as an excuse to get out of that deal.
Yeah.
Because of what's happened in the last couple of days with the rest of their free agents. And the last thing that the Ravens ever want to be known for, because if anything, the Ravens front office has always been the symbol of greatness in the NFL. They always have been, from Ozzie Newsome down. They've been always a model of how to carry yourself as a franchise when you're building rosters. And they've always had great rosters. They always have.
Well,
And now with this and their free agency,
slowly slipping ever since Ozzie Newsome left.
Mm-hmm.
And I think their current GM's starting to get on that hot seat. So we'll see what happens. I definitely think it's more of a panic move. I mean, I guess buyer's remorse does go play into a panic
It's the
move.
same. It's about the same. Instead of saying panic, I think it's just like I think they've thought about it for the last couple days, and then seeing what the outcome of free agency has been, that it's like, we have to, and really they're shooting themselves in the foot by taking Max Crosby, because with the people that are exiting, and their defense wasn't much better than our defense to begin with last year, and they have one of the best safeties in Hamilton, But having said that, I'm sure they got to the point where it's like, well, how are we going to build our draft, build through the draft if we do this?
Yeah.
And it's not 100% that I'm telling you right now, it's not 100%. I don't think Max Crosby is going to be the same Max Crosby this next year. I really don't. I think that just my opinion based on how it came about when it went from a maintenance surgery to an actual repair surgery, that there's more to that injury than what people think. And if it's degenerative, as in the knee is going to start to deteriorate over time and faster than what you want it to, how much time does he really have left as an NFL player?
Well, going back to what you're saying at the start of that sentence was, in my opinion, though, I don't think it should be asked of Max to be that same player. Like we've been constantly saying throughout this thing, is he needs to be put on a pitch count.
That should have been done 3 years ago.
Yeah, and that's the whole reason his knee is like that. And if it continues to be forced upon him or asked of him or allowed of him to do 100% snap count games, or even like 95 or 90, like, okay, you're just asking for him to get worn down and hurt by the end of the season. It's going to happen again, hands down, flat out. Like, it will happen. It is up to the team, whether it would have been the Ravens or now us, like, need to put him on that pitch count. Cairo's saying the GMs around the league are saying reportedly it's BS on the Ravens' part. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Only way it's not BS on the Ravens' part is if the physical showed something else besides the injury that they already knew of. That's the only way. But it's definitely a buyer's remorse thing, because they're missing 7 or 8 starters, and they just put a bunch of cap space into Max, and they're unable to come to a new deal with Lamar Jackson to free up some cap space. And they're not going to be able to fill up those positions with anything except for rookies and guys that are backups in the NFL.
I wouldn't be surprised if this time next year they're shopping Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean,
like literally looking to shop him and willing to take whatever best offer is. And to be quite honest, I wouldn't give more than a 3rd round pick for him.
With that contract, no,
just the overall. I mean, come on, you've read the reports of him not wanting to practice in the morning, so they all had to change the practice schedule to accommodate him because of what he was doing. No, that's not how this shit works, dude. No. You show up for work when we tell you to show up for work, and if you don't show up for work, we're gonna fine you.
Well, plus to add on to it, like I remember when he first got that big contract, like it was very split between fans saying he was deserving of it or not. And I was definitely on the side of he did not deserve that big of a contract.
The fans that were saying that were probably also the fans that were voting for him for MVP of the league as well.
That were saying he wasn't deserving of it?
No. Yeah, the ones that are saying he didn't deserve that contract were also probably the same ones that MVP, he's MVP. And then they give him the contract. It's like,
I can safely say I was not saying that.
You're not a Ravens fan.
No, I straight up said I was saying that he wasn't deserving of that contract. And then you said the fans that were saying that. I mean, I am a football fan.
The Ravens fans.
Okay,
and
Ravens fans, yeah, we're probably
and other
chanting
football fans.
MVP. Yes.
Yeah, they're the ones that were chanting MVP, and then when he got the contract, they were like, he's going to hurt our team by getting that contract." And well, you give a guy a couple MVPs, shit, he's going to get paid.
Yeah. Well, kick the can down the road to 2026, and look, Lamar Jackson's hurting your team now.
Mm-hmm.
You can't sign any other good talent. You just tried to get Max, and then now you have buyer's remorse because you lost your first round picks to help fill in those starting roles that you're missing.
Mm-hmm.
Lost your great center. And yeah, no, it's definitely 100% a buyer's remorse thing, unless something else popped up on the physical, which I'm kind of in doubt of. I mean, like, even if it was a degenerative thing, that still falls in line with that knee injury. So it's still the same injury.
But if it's degenerative and he comes back to us, that's something we got to be cognizant of.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just that plain and simple. It's like, okay, well, the knee injury is worse than what we were thinking. Well, no, it is worse than what you were thinking. And truth be told, that if he has it, if truth be told, if it is a degenerative knee issue, then the Raiders need to take that into consideration as to how they use him next year. Full stop. That's it's simple as that. And you're just going to have to look the man in the face and say, you are not going to be doing this 100 snaps a game bull crap. That's not happening no more.
No.
You're going to be a specialty. You're going to be a leader of the team, a leader of men, and that's it. And what I want to hear from Max going forward is, I'm going to do what it takes for my team to win. That's all I want to hear. And then do it.
That's all he's going to say. Is he just wants to win. He wants to do best for his team.
Yeah, but then
he loves the Raiders, so he's okay with playing with the Raiders.
He also brags about his TFLs and stuff like that on his podcast. And sometimes it's like, well, what about Adam Butler? Oh, he's cool. He's one of my guys. Well, there's other guys on the team. Kind of, lift your team up a little bit more, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
As a leader, and I'm sorry, but does he have leadership qualities? Yeah, but I think we've seen what his leadership has gotten us for the last 3 seasons. So maybe it's time for somebody else to take over the leadership role on defense.
Yeah, and just let him play. I was having this discussion with my dad after the Max trade. Is like, we're asking each other basically how we feel about it. And it's like, we're both said pretty much the same thing, where we hate seeing Max go. And he's more than just a great defensive end. He's also a leader of that locker room. But ultimately, what did that leadership bring us? So I was like, are we really missing out that big of a piece on the leadership side when we weren't winning with it? And yeah, there's more factors to it. Like, we can't just put it all on Max. Like, that's dumb to say in a way. But, like, ultimately, he was the face of the franchise. He was the star of the team. Like, he's had so much influence on the team where he got Antonio Pierce hired. Like, so it's very easy to say, like, his leadership did not bring us success. And, like, how many times have we had a great overall defense with Max's leadership also? So
it takes more than one person to be a leader of a team. And usually your leadership hierarchy usually starts within the middle of the field. If you look at any successful team, it starts in the middle of the field. From the quarterback to the center, from the nose guard to the middle linebacker to the strong safety. And then you work your way out. Yeah. Because being a leader on the left side of the defensive line, you have no idea what's going on the right side of the offensive line to better motivate or better provide that leadership bounce to those guys on the right side of the field, especially when the plays are coming. If you're making the play and you're doing the dance and everything, that's fine. But what I want to see is when, let's say, Malcolm Koonce makes a sack, how are you reacting?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so it's like one of those deals that now on the offensive side of the ball, with you'll see Brock Bowers is a silent, what they call a silent leader. Okay, he doesn't have to do it with words; he just does it with action.
Yeah.
And when you see him start to heat up, the rest of that offense, the rest of those guys start getting they're moving a little bit faster, they're hitting a little bit harder, they got a little bit of more giddy up in their step when he's making plays.
Yeah. He
So
definitely falls into that category of like how I was taught when I played football. Like my dad coaching me. Like,
well, your dad says it right here. I
yeah,
mean, you can't be a true leader if no one follows you.
right. But what I was saying about Bowers though is like what I was always taught when I played football is you talk with your pads, not your
Mhm.
mouth. Like you doing the actions is going to incite some sort of reaction.
No.
And like I love Bowers because you're never gonna get drama out of him because he doesn't speak up. Like he does the work and that's it. And everybody sees it.
But he'll
Or
go to the sideline and hang out with the guys after a touch, like that touchdown that he caught off of his butt. That was like, a back shoulder fade that was caught. Get used to
yeah,
that back shoulder fade that was caught.
yeah. Well,
And
that's
when
off
you,
to the sideline, like that's like your own little group. Like that's
well, he was with everybody. I mean, you see him. He was talking. He was hoofing it up with Carlson and the defensive guys. There was no. He was not. And you can tell it wasn't so much he was trying to brag about himself as it was about everybody. It was about everybody else's reason why that play was made.
well, yeah, but it's also allowing you to feed off of the positives. Like, okay, he goes and stands on the sidelines a stone man, like that's kind of rub some people the wrong way. Like
Mm-hmm.
you got to be able to feed off the positives.
No.
Max changed a lot after DC4 was let go. You can see over the last 3 years, he barked about AP getting the head coach job and things went to his head. Uh, I can kind of agree with that. And then also with like the whole McDaniels getting fired after Carr was gone. I think that was the biggest turning point. So Carr gets gone, and then McDaniels brings in Garoppolo, and none of their plans work. Their offense is absolutely terrible. And they have that big meeting, and Max was a huge factor of it. And so is AP. And I think that's kind of where the power, if it did get to his head, that's where it would have gotten to Max's head. And then goes and uses his relationship with Mark Davis to push for AP to get hired. But to be fair, the majority of us fans were saying that AP deserved that shot at head coach because of how much better that second half of that season was after AP took over. Because we were all feeding off that emotion.
Well, it's that and what we did with Bisaccia, where we let Bisaccia, because Bisaccia came in and was able to right the ship over that dramatic early season debacle that the NFL pushed onto us with John Gruden, and he was able to go 7-5 and get us in the playoffs and coach us into the playoffs. And I think that had a lot to do with, hey, we can't get, and I somewhat agree. It's like let's just retain the coaches that we do have and try again, and pound the table. I totally get that. As a player, that's what you want. And I
Yeah.
get that. But a player shouldn't be going straight to the owner.
Yeah.
Ever.
And I think that's also something that kind of was a big negative in the stuff that happened with him getting benched for the rest of the season. As he no longer could go straight to Mark Davis. He had to go through Spytek, and Spytek's a big boy and put him in his place.
Yeah.
And I don't think Max liked that. Like somebody told him no, and he was getting his way for a while now.
Yeah.
So it definitely could be Max thinking he's mightier than thou thing, like letting the power get to his head. But I mean, hey, Max is a great player. He's on our team again.
Mm-hmm.
Not upset with having great players on our roster. Yeah, it sucks we don't got those picks, but hey, we're the Raiders, and we always got that drama, and we got to roll with those punches called drama.
I'm just glad it happened now, not in training camp,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it always seems like training camp is where all this crap happens.
Oh, Jason, there's still time.
Yeah, I know. I know. It was like last year. It was like we were like 2 or 3 weeks into training camp or whatever, and it was like, oh, it's so cool. We haven't had any stupidity this year. And then all of a sudden, Christian Wilkins, blah
Yeah.
blah blah, refuses to get medical treatment as said by his contract. And oh, by the way, he's tickling people in the locker room.
Yeah. Kissing.
Oh, can we not? Can we just stop with this already? You know.
Yeah.
So
Right.
the good thing about this as well, and there's some people that are going to be held responsible for this, is most of this trade between Max and the Ravens doesn't come from Max or Spytech. It comes from the agents. It comes from the media, because the media is they're the ones that they just feed that crap. And it's the agents that are giving the media the information to feed on it. And what was cool about this is a really good experience for us as Raider fans, was that the Raiders actually put their front office on lockdown when that stuff started a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. They put them on lockdown, where Spytech, the email CC throughout the whole organization was, you will not talk to anybody about anything regarding Max Crosby unless you have spoken to either Spytech or Tom Brady specifically. And if you leak something, you will be terminated immediately.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're putting this stuff on, and that's why a lot of these NFL quote unquote NFL insiders, they couldn't get anything because it was like, no, we're on lockdown, man. So what's going on with them? They call like a player development coordinator. Hey, what's going on with the Max Crosby? I ain't telling you. I don't want to get fired.
That's been one thing the Raiders have always been good at, though, because our insiders have always been piss poor because they don't get any information. The team has stuff on lockdown unless they want it to get out.
Yeah.
And
So
it's been like that forever.
The funny part is I had the chance to meet Derek Carr in person, right? And he was picking up. It's when he bought his Rolls Royce. He was at the dealership, and I was working. I went there, and he had about 10. He says, I got about 10 minutes. What the heck? Because they were still finishing up his car. No pun intended, but they were still detailing it so he could take it home. And I said, so what's up with all these rumors, man? This, that, and the other thing. He goes, you know where that comes from, don't you? And I go, no. He goes, it comes from us. And I go, it makes sense. He goes, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, we'll throw stuff out there that we know is absolutely false just to watch people feed off of it like chum in the water. He goes, it's absolutely hilarious. And people take it like it's noteworthy. And they also do it to test. He said there's certain people that are like quote unquote insiders that you want to build trust with. So we'll give them information or we'll tell them something. And if they just go off of what I tell them and they don't validate it, then we know they're not trustworthy. So they won't talk to them.
Yeah.
And that was
Derek Carr
years
brought
ago.
that up on one of his podcasts recently too, saying that the players are the ones that are starting all that stuff.
Yeah.
Emerald Red saying the way the linebackers stood up and challenged Max on the field too. Whites and Roberts talked right back at him. I kind of disagree with that, but I mean, we're not going to have any like definite proof on who was right or who was wrong because we don't know the defensive call. But when you watch the film, it really looks like White and Roberts are both missing their assignments, which is why Max turns around and starts yelling at him and yells on him on the sideline and everything. The one thing I will say is Roberts continued to go to the sideline on and talk to him, not yell back at him, but actually try to talk to him.
Communicate.
Yeah. So it is possible that Max was in the wrong at least one of those times, but it film wise it looks like Max was in the right, but we will never actually know because we don't know the actual play call.
No.
Been at it for hour and a half.
Yeah, I'm pretty much. I think we've kind of. Well,
the Max stuff kind of threw us off.
Yeah.
But hey, we're
Yeah.
the Raiders. There's always going to be drama, and we got to roll with those punches.
Yeah, I'm trying to get fans to come on. Most of the people I talk to, they say maybe later. But these are some of the guys that I know personally that we grew up as Raider fans, and so we're going to try and get those people on here so we could discuss the fandom. So like if you anybody in that's watching, if you're interested, just leave a comment in the section, and we can maybe get together and kind of show you and come up on stage, and we challenge you to your fandom, so to speak. It's nothing. If you've seen our previous episodes, it's a lot of fun. It really is, and it helps us build camaraderie throughout the Raider Nation. And I wish more channels did more of it versus trying to be the topic in disguise of who they are, and just be true. Just be true. Just like when we did Sacktown Mike. That's exactly the way it should be.
That was pretty much the perfect show.
And Darth Raider as well. Hopefully we can get Darth Raider back on again. That'd be a lot of fun. This time with no technical difficulties.
Yeah.
So to speak. So maybe the week before the draft, shoot for that, or after the draft. Because I think he's going to the draft. And so that's something we could talk about as well. And then just go from there and see. Our channel is growing, but it's only growing a little bit. So for those of you guys that are out there that are watching, hit those likes, subscribes, the notifications, thumbs up, give us a thumbs up. And because YouTube does everything based off of algorithms. And the more of those that we get, if we get close to 100% on every show, then they start to push it out to other people that maybe aren't subscribed, and then they come on and they watch. So
thanks for stopping by and chatting it up, and have a good night, and we'll see you in the Discord as well, Enamel.
Thanks.
But that about it, Jason?
That's it.
Cold open, counted out. Yeah, we heard the talk. Cold nights and long losses, still we walk. Scoreboard hurt, but the heart stayed real. Still wear the black, still flash the shield. From Oakland roots to Vegas dust, pain in the season, but we still trust. They say it's over, I say move on, but right